Hi Jim, it's me Hamza Riaz. So today I'm gonna take your interview. It's gonna be a very short interview from ML Lab. And first of all, thank you so much for your precious time. So our first question will be related to introduce yourself and give your name and your role in your company and how you started this kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
sure. First, thanks for having me, Hamza, and nice to be here with part of the UCD ML Lab. So, my name is James Conway, and I'm a lead data scientist with Mastercard Labs R&D, and that's the R&D wing of Mastercard, headquartered in Ireland, so Dublin, Ireland.
Yeah, and yeah. So, what was your primary educational background before getting into the machine learning and data science?
So primarily it was in mathematics and statistics. So going back, my undergrad was in financial maths and actuarial science. So studying like all kind of stochastic models. And then I went and I did a master's in mathematical modeling and scientific computing. And that's your more deterministic type simulation type models, your ordinary differential equations, cellular automata, that kind of thing, of where you're more modeling things. And then I went back to pursue a PhD in statistics and then furthering that kind of stochastic random element of understanding the random behavior kind of in real world scenarios and how kind of trying to get a good understanding of how those two things might link together. Say how does a deterministic model compare to stochastic models and that kind of thing.
Yeah, great, great, and yeah, it's great you have the mathematics mathematical background. I like, yeah. Usually we don't have such mathematical background. We just have CS background and then yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah,
great.
I do find it brings another dynamic to a team. You can kind of round it out. So like while my computer science skills are probably not as strong as some of the other members of our team, I complement them with kind of a better understanding of statistical and stochastic models and the underlying kind of equations and things driving the models.
Yeah, great. Yeah, that's nice. And which achievements in AI do you think will transfer your work domain in the near future, and why?
Um, I guess the advancements that I think that are coming right now are in automation. So when I say that, I mean like automated machine learning models. You have the big players like Google and Microsoft have all been developing their own kind of cloud platforms to allow people to upload their own data, run some models, and relatively quickly be able to deploy a model into the cloud and get results from it. So I expect that to really kind of impact our industry. It'll enable more people to run these models, and that's something kind of we're focused on internally as well. But it's to kind of reduce the dev time. So can you reduce the time it takes from a use case or a business case to come into the team, and for us to turn around and have a model working in production, and can we reduce that development time? So that's probably, I think, the one that's going to impact us in the nearest term.
Yeah, yeah. So you mean automation is the key in collection the data and it will transfer in
Yeah, yeah. So like as you get more into there's stuff like data transfers and data manipulation is probably a big part of it as well. So you have to make sure your data is in the right structure to go into your models. That automation piece is probably a little further out. Grouping all the things together, making the right data structure to go into your ML models, and then that you can run on it, and then you can get your train your models on that data and then do serve and deploy that. So that's probably all incoming. So that's probably why I see the big advancements in the next few years, and it'll enable companies that maybe not have the skill, like the overall data science skills, to kind of leverage some of that resources as well. I think as well. That's probably.
okay, yeah. So what were the main areas of machine learning models within your organization, like what you guys are working in Mastercard?
So there's kind of two real big ones that come into our team anyway in Mastercard. So the first being time series prediction. So anything that can predict the future obviously is going to be quite valuable. So that's predicting the future values of any kind of predictable sequence. So the things like your stock prices or your exchange rates, things like that. Anything that can predict those values is going to be quite impactful. And then the other one is probably around recommender systems. And that's, can you make recommendations to merchants, which are like our, businesses essentially, or their underlying customers, say what products and things that will help them grow their business. And essentially that will become mutually beneficial for Mastercard. If we can grow our clients' business, that will in turn grow our business. So that's another big part of what we do.
Yeah. So you guys are working on a recommendation system and predicting future, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you can kind of combine those in certain ways. Where you say, you've made a recommendation to a merchant. What do you think the impact of that recommendation might be? So you want to say, well, this, if you take on this product, your growth rate we expect in the next year will be X% more than what we expect if you don't take this product. So you can have to kind of combine those two things together as well.
Okay, great. So this is the last question. And what is the number one skill do you think machine learning PhD graduate needs to have?
Um, I think communication is probably the biggest one. Can you explain the model that you developed in such a way that business people and everyone else can understand what you developed, and even other technical folk, sometimes it can be hard to understand what someone else has built. So you need to be able to communicate that clearly and be able to understand why your model has made a certain prediction, to just kind of ethical concerns that might be there, to ensure that you've removed any kind of bias from your model, so that there's nothing ethically wrong with what you developed, but also that you can say, this is the reason why this prediction has been made, and that you can explain that and show as well the value of your models. So a lot of time people have a very valuable model, but they haven't been able to express that in terms of either commercialization and not necessarily monetization. You don't have to put a dollar value against everything, but you do need to say what is the value in terms of this model, and how you measure that. So being able to express that, I think, is probably the number one skill that I would look for in a candidate.
Yeah. Right now, we as a data scientist or a machine learning graduates, so we are also suffering in explainable AI. So you are talking about explainable AI, like
Mhm.
we develop a model, and usually we are not like sure. So how it's gonna be different? Like before, it was giving the same great results, and then after some time on new data, I
Yeah, well, especially with COVID-19, a lot of the time series models, I think a lot of companies have broken down recently, which is because of the behavior that's coming in. The models haven't seen anything like that before, so a lot of the assumptions of the models have broken down, and that's kind of partly it. Can you say why it has broken down, or what has actually happened, so that you can fix it in a certain amount of time, and you can get those models back up and running and predicting more reliable results in these kind of black swan events. And that's it seems to be these black swan events are becoming more and more common. Maybe it's our interconnected world or whatever it is, but yeah, being able to understand what's happening with your model, and why it is, and even just things of like why you chose the measure of accuracy that you have chosen. That's something that comes up a lot for us as well. Why you chose MAPE over the RMSE or the R squared, and you know how can you communicate that value? What does 89% accurate actually mean? If I tell someone something is 90% accurate, does that mean it was right 90% of the time, or it captures 90% of the variation? These are all different things, and unless you're clear with that, people might have a misunderstanding of what your model is actually doing. And then when it works in practice, you get a lot of questions to say, well, you said it was 90% accurate, but it's been out 5% on 10 days the last month, and that's not 90% right, but it still captured all the variation that's there. So these kind of things have to be clearly communicated, I think, all up the chain and across.
yeah, great. Yeah, thank you so much, James.